Most people read Psalm 23 completely wrong. How about you? You've heard it before. The Lord is my shepherd. It sounds peaceful, familiar, almost automatic. But let me ask you something. Have you ever thought it could be more than comfort? Have you ever thought Psalm 23 could actually change the way you face fear, uncertainty, even the darkest season of your life? I've spent a long time studying Psalm 23, and I discovered something most people miss. And if you see it, it won't just comfort you. It will change your life forever. Come with me for a moment. If you're hungry for deeper insight into Scripture, not just words that comfort you, but truth that transforms how you live, make sure you're subscribed. And if Psalm 23 has ever carried you through a difficult season, comment 23 below. Let's walk through this together. Let's look at it the way David actually meant it. The first thing I noticed in Psalm 23 is the turning point in the valley. At first, everything feels calm, structured, almost poetic. The Lord is my shepherd. He makes me lie down. He leads me. He restores me. He guides me. Notice the pattern. David is talking about God. He describes him. He explains what he does. He speaks of him in the third person, he. It feels reflective, theological, almost observational. But then something unexpected happens. Right in the middle of the psalm, not in the green pastures, not beside the still waters, but in the darkest valley, the language shifts. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Did you catch it? David stops talking about God, and he starts talking to him. This is not accidental. This is the secret. The shift from he to you happens exactly where fear should be strongest, in the valley, in uncertainty, in danger, in the place where control disappears. The valley might be a diagnosis you weren't prepared for, a phone call that changes everything, a season where your prayers feel like they hit the ceiling and fall back down. Why? Because it's one thing to speak about God when life is peaceful. It's another thing entirely to speak directly to Him when life feels dark. When everything is stable, theology is enough. But in the valley, theology turns into relationship. Distance collapses. God is no longer an idea. He becomes presence. Psychologically, this is powerful. Fear thrives in perceived isolation. Anxiety grows when we feel alone in the threat. But presence, real personal presence, regulates fear. It changes how the nervous system responds. It shifts panic into stability. David doesn't say, I will fear no evil because I understand doctrine. He says, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. The valley did not disappear. The danger did not vanish. But the distance did. And that changes everything. Many people read Psalm 23 as a promise that life will stay in green pastures. But David places the turning point in the valley. Because the real transformation of this psalm is not circumstantial. It is relational. The secret of Psalm 23 begins here. When life is bright, we talk about God. When life is dark, we talk to Him. And that shift from he to you is where fear starts losing its authority. The shepherd was always there, but in the valley, he becomes personal. And once you see that, you realize something profound. The power of Psalm 23 is not that it removes the valley. It's that it removes the distance inside it when the shepherd controls the outcome. If the first secret of Psalm 23 is presence, then the second layer of that secret is control, not your control, His. Psalm 23 does not begin with, I am finding my way. It begins with, the Lord is my shepherd. That sentence sounds simple, but it is radical, because whoever your shepherd is controls your direction, and whoever controls your direction ultimately shapes your destination. Most anxiety in life comes from one place, The illusion that everything depends on us, our decisions, our timing, our strategy, our strength, the pressure to hold your family together, the fear that one wrong move could ruin your future, the constant mental calculations about money, career, stability. We believe if we don't hold everything together, it will all fall apart. But David starts with surrender. The Lord is my shepherd. In ancient times, sheep did not map their own paths. They did not negotiate terrain. They did not decide when to move or when to rest. The shepherd determined all of it. Green pastures were not accidental. Still waters were not random. Even the valley was not a mistake. It was part of the route. And here is where the secret deepens. David says, He guides me along right paths for His name's sake. Notice that. For His name's sake. That means the shepherd's reputation is attached to the sheep's outcome. If the sheep is lost, it reflects on the shepherd. If the sheep is destroyed, it reflects on the shepherd. David's confidence was not rooted in his own ability to navigate life. It was rooted in the character of the one leading him. And this changes how you face uncertainty. Because if God is truly your shepherd, then the future is not something you must manufacture. It is something you follow into. Even the verse about the table in the presence of enemies reveals this. God does not remove the enemies first. He prepares the table anyway. That means opposition does not cancel provision. Threat does not cancel favor. Fear does not cancel direction. The shepherd does not panic when wolves appear. He remains steady. And the sheep borrow that steadiness. This is why Psalm 23 is not about escaping difficulty. It is about relinquishing control inside it. When the shepherd owns the path and the outcome, you are freed from living in constant tension. You still walk, you still move, you still face valleys, but you are no longer the one responsible for holding the universe together. And that is where anxiety begins to loosen its grip. Because the secret of Psalm 23 is not that life becomes predictable. It is that the one guiding it is trustworthy. And if He is truly your shepherd, then even when you don't understand the terrain, you can trust the direction, not because you see the whole map, but because you know the one who does. You are not chasing blessing. It is chasing you. We've seen the shift from He to you. We've seen the surrender. The Lord is my shepherd. But the psalm doesn't end in the valley. It ends with something even more powerful. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. At first glance, that sounds gentle, almost passive. But in Hebrew, the word translated follow is far stronger than that. It means to pursue, to chase, to run after. This changes everything. Most people spend their lives chasing peace, chasing success, chasing stability, chasing God's blessing. But David says something radical. You are not the one chasing. You are being pursued. Goodness is not waiting at the finish line. Mercy is not standing still, hoping you arrive. They are moving toward you. Even on days you feel unworthy, even on days you feel behind, even on days you feel like you failed, even on days when you lost your temper again, when you doubted, when you felt spiritually dry, the shepherd does not abandon sheep that struggle. He pursues them. And this is why Psalm 23 is life-changing, because it reframes your entire relationship with God. You are not trying to earn protection. You are not trying to secure provision. You are not trying to manipulate favor. You are walking with a shepherd whose reputation, whose presence, and whose goodness are already committed to you. And notice how the psalm closes. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Not temporarily, not conditionally, forever. The secret of Psalm 23 is not green pastures. It is not still waters. It is not even the valley. The secret is this: you are never outside the shepherd's reach. In peace, He leads you. In darkness, He is with you. In uncertainty, He directs you. In weakness, He restores you. In failure, mercy pursues you. And in the end, He brings you home. This is why David could walk through the valley without fear, not because he was brave, not because the valley was shallow, but because the shepherd was committed. And if the Lord is truly your shepherd, then you are not walking through life alone. You are being led. You are being guarded. You are being pursued. And once that becomes personal, not theoretical, not poetic, but real, fear begins to lose its authority. That is the secret. Not comfort, presence, not control, trust, not striving, being pursued. And when that truth moves from your head into your heart, Psalm 23 stops being something you recite and becomes something you live,